If you can't stick to diets, this is for you. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because the entire system you've been fighting was never designed for a real human body under real stress. You already know the pattern. Monday starts clean, Tuesday is fine, Wednesday gets shaky. By Friday night, you're standing in front of the fridge, bargaining with yourself like you're negotiating a hostage release. And every time it happens, you blame yourself. You tell yourself you failed again. You tell yourself you just need more willpower. That lie is what's keeping you stuck. Because the problem was never the food. The problem is that diets force your body into a threat response. And once the body feels threatened, fat loss shuts down. Let me tell you what's actually happening. Every strict diet sends the same signal to your nervous system. Food is scarce. Energy is uncertain. Danger might be coming. Your body doesn't care about summer abs, it cares about survival. So it adapts. Hunger hormones rise, stress hormones spike, sleep gets lighter, cravings get louder, and the most dangerous change happens quietly. Your metabolism doesn't just slow, it becomes defensive. This is why the longer you diet, the harder fat loss becomes. This is why your belly is the last place to change. This is why you can eat perfectly and still feel stuck. The threat isn't lack of effort. The threat is a stressed nervous system guarding stored fuel. And belly fat is emergency fuel. That fat isn't there because you're weak. It's there because your body doesn't feel safe enough to let it go. So if you can't stick to diets, stop trying to. Instead, do this. Shift from restriction to stabilization. Fat loss doesn't begin when you eat less. It begins when your body stops bracing for impact. The first thing you stabilize is timing, not calories. Right now, your eating pattern is unpredictable. Skipping meals, saving calories, then overeating later. That unpredictability is a threat signal. Your body responds by hoarding, so instead of cutting food, you anchor it. You eat within a consistent window every day. Not shorter, just predictable. Same first mealtime, same last mealtime. When the body can predict fuel, cortisol drops. When cortisol drops, insulin sensitivity improves. When insulin sensitivity improves, belly fat becomes accessible again. No diet needed, just rhythm. Next, you stabilize blood sugar before you ever touch portion sizes. Cravings aren't a character flaw, they're a glucose emergency. When blood sugar crashes, your brain demands fast energy. It doesn't ask politely, it hijacks decision-making. That's why cravings feel urgent and irrational. So instead of eating clean, you eat to prevent crashes. Every meal includes protein, not a lot, enough. Protein slows digestion. It steadies glucose. It sends satiety signals upstream to the brain. When blood sugar stops swinging, hunger quiets down without a fight. This alone eliminates most late-night binge behavior. Now let's talk about the silent internal threat ruining fat loss for people who can't stick to diets. Sleep deprivation. Even mild sleep loss raises hunger hormones the next day. It lowers leptin. It raises ghrelin. It makes high-calorie food look more rewarding. This isn't psychology. It's survival biology. When sleep drops, your body assumes something is wrong, so it protects energy. That protection shows up as belly fat retention. You don't fix this with supplements. You fix it by defending sleep like it's part of the program. Earlier lights, lower evening stimulation, food timing that doesn't spike insulin late at night. Fat loss doesn't happen when you grind harder. It happens when your body finally rests. Now let's talk about movement, not workouts. Movement. Hard training while underfueled tells your body one thing: threat is increasing. That's why people who diet and overtrain burn out, stall, and rebound. Instead, you move to signal safety. Walking after meals. Gentle movement throughout the day. Light resistance that strengthens without draining. This kind of movement lowers stress hormones, improves glucose disposal, keeps fat oxidation available. It's not about burning calories, it's about calming the system that's blocking fat loss. And now we get to the most important shift. You stop trying to lose weight. You focus on becoming metabolically boring. Predictable meals, predictable sleep, predictable movement, no extremes, no surprises. When nothing feels urgent, your body stops defending. That's when fat loss starts quietly, especially from the belly. And this is where most people get scared because it feels like you're not doing enough. But that discomfort is just your addiction to intensity talking. Real fat loss feels anticlimactic at first. No drama, no suffering, just fewer cravings, less bloating, more stable energy. And then one day, your waistline changes without a fight. Now, let me be clear about the danger of doing this wrong. If you keep chasing diets, the rebound risk increases every cycle. Each failure isn't neutral. It trains your body to store faster next time. That's how people end up heavier despite eating less than ever. But when you stabilize first, you reverse that pattern. Your body relearns trust. And when trust returns, fat loss follows. Not through force, through permission. Here's what you do starting now. You stop counting calories. You anchor meal times. You include protein. You protect sleep. You move gently but consistently. That's it. No rules you can break. No plan to fail. And the irony is brutal. The moment you stop trying to control your body, it cooperates. Because fat loss was never about discipline. It was about safety. And once your body feels safe, it lets go of what it was holding onto for survival. Including the belly fat you've been fighting for years. If this feels different than anything you've tried before, that's because it is. Diets train resistance. This trains release. And release is how fat actually leaves the body. Not with punishment, but with calm, boring consistency that tells your system, we're not under threat anymore. That's when change becomes inevitable.